What's up, everybody? You were tuned in to the Cris
Am all.
podcast, episode 231, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day. Whether you're doing, you're at home, you're at work, whatever you're doing, we appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm just- Man, all right, phone trip. But hope everybody's having a good morning, whatever you're doing, you're at home, you're at work. Appreciate y'all tapping in on the live stream. You're listening on the playback. We appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comments section. We got a lot to speak on today. We got the Super Bowl recap. We're going to talk about that, talk about what we saw in that game. We're also going to talk some NBA news. Maul's going to give us some NBA news. I'm going to pick his brain about the Duke UNC matchup that just happened just past weekend. It was a really great college game, great atmosphere out there, um, even till the ending of the game. And yeah, man, we got some other things we want to speak on. But until we get into that, Mo, how you feeling, man?
Hungover as hell,
Yeah,
tired. Um, Fun time yesterday. Fun time.
yeah,
Minus a boring ass game. So, and a great halftime performance too. So,
yeah.
man, overall, I'm here. How you
Yeah.
doing? How you
Same,
doing?
same, same. I felt worse in the morning than what I feel right now. I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, I just ate. I just went to this spot called FNX. Shout out to that spot. I guess it's owned by a lady. She ex military, ex veteran. You know what I mean, veteran. So had me a steak and egg burrito, pretty good. So kind of helped me get ready for the show. Shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's go ahead and dive right into the Super Bowl, man.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, it wasn't a very eventful Super Bowl. Points came at a premium in this game.
Mm-hmm.
More so on the Patriots side. Um, the first half was just mostly all. Most of this game was mostly defense. It was all defense on both sides of the ball, Patriots and Seattle's defense. I think Seattle had a little bit more. Um, uh, they had a little bit more to work with going down the field as far as almost scoring, but they had to settle for field goals because Patriots defense, stood up in the red zone. So they had to settle for field goals, and we go into the halftime 9-0. And then you come back out of the half, and it just seemed like it was more of the same things. It looked like Seattle had a little bit more. They were able to get over the hump and get into the end zone a couple times. Sam Darnold had a touchdown to AJ Barner, and Kenneth Walker. Man, he had success most of the game, running the football. They had like 27 carries, 100 and like 40 some yards, and he almost broke one out for a touchdown, but he got called back. But he was named the MVP of this game, which was deservedly so to me. I think he was the only one on that offense that was really showing anything. Sam Darnold did what he had to do when he needed to. But on the Patriots side, it just looked like offensively they were lost. It looked like a team that was lost. That defensive line was giving that Patriots offensive line pure hell. There's going to be a question to ask about Will Campbell going into the offseason. The knock on him was his arm length, and it kind of showed up in this game when he goes against those defensive ends that have longer arms. They tend to give him trouble. So that's going to be something that they're going to be, it's going to be a talking point next year, going into the next season. And Drake May, he's young. You know what I'm saying? And that was my question going into this game. Somebody that young, playing in the Super Bowl, the hypeness and all that stuff. Will it get to him? And it seemed like especially when they really needed it, he tried some things and he ended up getting picked off. He had the fumble, and it just wasn't a good night for Drake May. But the defense, Patriots defense, showed up all through the game. Christian Gonzalez is a beast, man. He was locking stuff down up and down the field. JSN couldn't really get nothing going. He stopped a pass that, if he doesn't stop that, Rashid Shaheed is hitting his head on the goalpost and scoring a touchdown right there.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Christian Gonzalez. He was the MVP on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like I said, offensively, they just couldn't get nothing going in the run game. They couldn't get nothing going in the passing game. So shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. They are your NFL Super Bowl champions this year, and we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, no, I think look, man, this is kind of the way the game I thought would play it out. I thought the Patriots offense would be a little bit better. I was pretty disappointed in the fact of they didn't try to use Drake May's legs a little bit more, especially with just seeing how the pocket was collapsing. You know what I mean? I think they could have schemed up some other stuff. But again, that's Josh McDaniels. You know what I mean? like this is Josh McDaniels. Doing Josh McDaniels type of things that it just didn't make sense. Obviously, they couldn't get the running game going. Obviously, the big story was the Patriots' offensive line. They just couldn't do anything. They couldn't pass block. They couldn't run block. They couldn't do anything. Will Campbell. I know a lot of people been on him ever since draft with the short arms. People calling him T-Rex and all that type of stuff. But look, at the end of the day, he really didn't help the detractors from his case. You know what I mean? He looked like he shouldn't have been out there, especially in a important position as that left tackle. So they're going to have to make some decisions. I know I was hearing rumors of maybe they might consider moving him, more inside in the line and potentially drafting or potentially signing, somebody in the off season and stuff like that. But look, man, I think, and obviously I think Drake, man, he missed a lot of open throws that he could have hit. You know what I mean? Obviously, he didn't get a lot of help from the receivers, but there were moments where Drake May could have hit some of the guys, and maybe he just kind of heard the noise around him to the point where he just couldn't get stabilized and comfortable in the pocket to throw the ball with accuracy. So he's been having those kind of troubles. Obviously, a lot of their glaring problems have been more highlighted, I guess, especially during the playoffs because their offense hasn't been as explosive. And again, that might come to, a lot of people contested that, their schedule is very, very simple. But at the same time, this offensive line wasn't that bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all knew Will Campbell's faults and all that stuff like that, but the offensive line was still able to run block and all that, even against some, decent defenses. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it speaks more about the players or more about the coaching staff for them not to be this prepared, especially on the offensive side. Now, on the defensive side, you can't really say nothing. That defense was amazing. Another episode on, why the Raiders didn't draft Christian Gonzalez when they had the opportunity. It's another mind-boggling situation. Hopefully we move past that. But overall, man, I told people, you can look it up. I told people, watch out for Kenneth Walker being MVP of the Super Bowl, because if you really looked at this team, minus what Jackson Smith and Jigba did, minus what this defense did, which I'm gonna ask you a question about this defense. Kenneth Walker was the key for this offense. It was never Jackson Smith and Jigba. I know a lot of people like to think that, and he is an important cog to this offense. But for this playoff run, Kenneth Walker was the clear-cut MVP. He looked like a new age, like Marshawn Lynch out there. Like, no one could stop him. And a lot of that was with, obviously that offensive line was run blocking to prestigious, outstanding performances. But Kenneth Walker was running through guys and no one can tackle him. And you saw that throughout the whole entire Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Especially going up against this elite Patriots defense that was pretty damn good at stopping the run. So shout out to Kenneth Walker, man. Hell no to anybody who did not listen to me for that pick. I try to give it to y'all. You know what I mean? I know sometimes y'all think I'll just be saying stuff, but sometimes I'm right, brother. Sometimes as Stephen A. Smith says, broken clock's right twice a day. This is one of my broken clock moments. So shout out to me. So but I'm gonna ask you this question: Where do you rank this Seattle Seahawks defense is among the all-time great defenses that made the Super Bowl?
I wouldn't call it I think it's a very good defense. I don't think it's one of those defenses that you look at like I think that Ravens defense was better 3 years ago. That defense was better than this defense.
You compare it to your Chiefs defense? I think they won the Niners year.
Even the year that we beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, I think our defense was better than that. Like, I think you would take that version of Chris Jones over anybody on this Seattle line.
But would you take the whole totality of that Seattle defense over what y'all had? I don't know.
I think you can move some parts. Like, of course, I'm taking Nick Emerori over any safety that we had. Justin
Absolutely.
Reed was cool, but
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't that. Like you put
Nah.
him on that our defense, it'd have been
Yeah.
crazy. But what L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie was doing that season, it was kind of like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
kinda crazy. We was shutting down some number one like duels. Like they
Mm-hmm.
was locking shit up. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the corners on Seattle are really good. Woolen and Weatherspoon, Kobe Bryant, all those boys. Those are some good corners right there.
So what would this defense be comparable to you? Like what is the comparison for you?
Because outside of, I like Brian. What's his name? Brian Murphy. I like
Mm-hmm.
Brian Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is nasty. He's going to be a star.
Mm-hmm.
I do like him. Leonard Williams. He's solid. He's a good run stuffing defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know where I would rank it. I don't know where I could compare him to. Because it's not like they're like this opportunistic defense or this. They're very athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I don't know, they just get the job
Do they
done.
remind you of the Niners defense, the defenses of past years? Do they? Even though I
Uh,
think they have better, I think I would say name wise, they probably have better talent
that's
with
what I'm
Fred
saying. Like
Warner and
that's what I'm saying. Fred Warner,
Joe
Nick
Bosa.
Bosa, even when they had Greenlaw,
Mm-hmm.
you could argue Seattle's secondary is better than whatever the 49ers secondary used to have. Because I think their front seven used to cover up a lot of the deficiencies on them San Francisco secondaries.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this defense is better than the Legion of Boom.
No.
I wouldn't say this defense is better than the Legion of Boom. Trying to think of the last couple playoff great defenses that we have. The Carolina Panthers defense, maybe comparable to that in a sense. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
I think they're probably in that range, probably with the Luke Kuechly's when Cam Newton was there and stuff like that. I'll probably give them the slight better spot, even though you did have
Pepper was Pepper still
they had
playing?
Julius. I think Julius Peppers was on that team. I think he was on that. Was he on that team? I think he was on that team.
I think so. Because I don't even think they're better than the Eagles defense last year.
Nah.
Yeah, they were better than the Eagles.
I would say this. I would say, like I don't want to. I'm not gonna poo-poo on who. I think they're a really good team defense. Like I don't think they have. It's not like they have. I think they have some elite talent on that squad, but not to the depth of like what I think what the Denver Broncos had, when they smashed the Carolina Panthers, like what the old Ravens teams has, and obviously what the Eagles had last year or anything like that. But it's something about the way they played together that made them look very unstoppable. Like we got to remember, like this Seahawks team was on the verge of being in the same position as the Rams that Thursday night game when the Rams was up 30-14. And then I don't know what happened that switched in that fourth quarter. That moment right there, I think was what changed the trajectory for the Seattle Seahawks team. Because you could easily circle that game right there, and that could literally tell you who was the Super Bowl winner, just because Seattle had home field advantage. If you put the Los Angeles Rams in that situation, I think it's the Rams in the same outcome. I really do. You know what I mean? So I think that was probably the hugest moment of the whole entire year, honestly, when you really look at that, because at that moment, Sam Darnold still was seeing those demons. Sam Darnold had those struggles, especially in big games. And we all saw that. Even in the moments where they outplayed the Rams earlier in the year, and then the Rams came back and won that game. You know what I mean? So at that moment, when it was 30-14, everybody looked at that and was like, yo, this is the same Sam Darnold. The Seahawks team is very talented, but when it comes to real big games, this is the result that we're going to get. And then I don't know what happened in that fourth quarter. I don't know if this man took PED. No, I'm just joking. But I don't know if this man, like the Monstars jumped into this man's body or something like that, or to this whole squad. But it just literally seemed to change the whole trajectory of this whole entire season, because after that moment, they looked like a behemoth. They were just steamrolling cats all across the board. And maybe that was just the moment that Sam Darnold needed. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I think I said it. That was the moment. That was the game that changed everything. And that's why, matter of fact, I did say, because I said that game, both those teams went into opposite directions.
Mhm.
Like the Rams defense wasn't playing that good after that. The defensive line wasn't verse and Fisk and all them. They weren't getting like they weren't dominating like they usually were. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but that
Mhm.
game just like the defense just wasn't as good as it had been
Mhm.
in seasons past, and even
Mhm.
in this season. And then all of a sudden, Seattle just started playing out of their damn mind. Sam Darnold was playing out of his mind. Kenneth Walker, he took another step because we have been waiting for Kenneth Walker to look like this on a consistent basis. Because I always felt like Charbonnet would get most of the carries. I'm like, why is Charbonnet getting all the carries, man? Why he always in the end zone? Like,
Mhm.
but then all of a sudden it was just like Kenneth Walker was just going off.
Mhm.
He like the best player on the team outside of JSN. So it
Mhm.
was just like, and then JSN, of course, he's best wide receiver this season at least. Um, and he's definitely a top 3 wide receiver in the league right now. But yeah, it just switched. Like you said, it switched. They went into opposite directions. And you're right. If the Rams had won that game, they'd probably be here right now. We'd be talking about Matthew Stafford winning his second Super Bowl, and he probably retired.
Mhm.
He'd
Mhm.
probably ride off to the sunset and retire.
Mhm.
And Devontae Adams will finally get one, and Puka and all them. But here we are, man. Seattle won, and we talked about it even before the season started that we had to look out for Seattle. It was just on Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Can Sam Darnold not mess it up? Could he not look like how he looked in that last game of the season? So,
Yeah.
um, and he showed it. He showed it. Speaking of Sam Darnold, do you consider Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback?
Uh, Top 10. That's a good question. I would have to say yes. I would say yes. I would say yes. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. That performance that Sam Darnold did wasn't the best. Like,
No, it
let's be
wasn't.
real. There was 2 moments where those could have been 2 pick sixes from that New England Patriots defense, especially in that first
Mhm.
part of that. I think it was the second pass of the game where I literally thought I was like, oh, pick six right here. And who knows how the demons start creeping in. Look, I think with this, I think Sam Darnold's story is a great story about not quitting on what you believe you can be.
Mhm.
I think it's the perfect example of that. Like, the moment him being a top draft pick for the New York Jets, and then obviously we all know the story of that and how that transitioned to Carolina Panthers, to the Niners, to the Vikings, to now this moment where he turned his story into something that is a positive one. Like, especially in the draft where you were with Lamar Jackson, where you were with Josh Allen and stuff like that. Like, those are some of the more elite quarterbacks that we talked about, and yet you're here being the first one out of all of them to have a Super Bowl championship ring. And I think that says a lot. But do I still have my reservations about Sam Darnold? I absolutely do. Do I think this could be like a 1 year type of run type of thing? It could be. I think it is a possibility like that. Like, do I put him in the same light as like kind of like a Trent Dilfer or like a Joe Flacco situation where it was just kind of like this kind of like out of nowhere kind of run that no one kind of expected? I think you could easily put that in that category. And it's no disrespect to him and what he's done. At the end of the day, he's a Super Bowl champion winning quarterback. He has something that Dan Marino doesn't have, that Lamar Jackson and Josh
That's
Allen,
right.
some guys who are more talented than him, obviously, but he has the ring. And he was a proponent to that. Now, I think where everything's going, I think you would have to put him top 10. Am I going to put him like top 5? No, I think he'd probably be on the lower tier of the top 10 because I think you still have to have, respectfully, I think you still have to have Josh Allen. You still have to have Patrick Mahomes when he comes back. I think you have to have Lamar Jackson. I think you have to have Trevor Lawrence in a sense because of what he's done, even though he does have his reservations as well. I think you could also have, let me think. Matthew
Joe
Stafford.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy. Um,
Would you put Jalen Hurts?
I would
Mhm.
probably, I would probably pick. I would probably have Prescott over Jalen Hurts. I just think he's a better thrower to football, but I would have Jalen Hurts over. I would have Jalen Hurts over Sam Darnold. I think I would.
Yeah. Daniels, Jaden Daniels, of
I
course.
still would have Jaden Daniels over him. I would have. I think it's a conversation between. I think that's when you start getting to like Bo Nix, Drake May,
Baker
him,
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. I think that's when you can have those kind of conversations. I think with him winning the Super Bowl, I think you have to put him above those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that puts him in like the 9-10 area for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're gonna have obviously it's going to go year to year. You know, obviously we got to see how Cam Ward looks next year, and obviously you still got Justin Herbert. Can he finally get over the hump? Even though I'll say Justin Herbert's more talented than Sam Darnold, but I would have Sam Darnold over Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert, I think, is one of those cats. I think Justin Herbert and Josh Allen are kind of like in the same tree. Like people have them in such high regard, but they can never win the big games. It's kind of like they're kind of like the same quarterback in a sense to me. Like just as far as like the media national love affair between those guys, but they haven't proved it on the field at all. You know what I mean? When it really counted. So
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at that.
what about you? Where would you have him?
Yeah, I'd have him around 9, 10. About 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you got to think, who would you take over him? Like, if we're doing a draft right now, how many quarterbacks are you picking above him when his name comes up on the board or whatever? Who's available? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to take into account, what those quarterbacks have performed better in this setting with this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think Lamar, Mahomes, Josh, Burrow, possibly, and yeah, those guys will probably perform better with this team. Probably would have scored more touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, I take Jalen Hurts over him because I trust him more in big game settings. I just
Jordan
think
Love. What about your boy Jordan?
I think Jordan Love's more talented. So as far as the talent base, I'd probably take Jordan Love.
Yeah, talent wise, yeah.
Because I want to see what Jordan Love looks like if he has a JSN. So,
well, let me ask you this about Sam Darnold. Do you think this is like a 1 year? Like, what's your overall feels with him? Like, do you think this is like one of those like Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco kind of runs where it's just like, all right, this came out of the blue, and then he's going to come back to down to earth next year? Or do you think he can consistently maintain what he's been doing the second half of this year?
I think he can consistently maintain this. I think he's definitely light years better than Trent Dilfer or whatever it was. I think he's a better player than him. I mean, you saw it at USC. He was way better than that guy. Flacco is interesting because Flacco was top 2 pick, top 3 pick. His earlier years, Flacco, he wasn't the greatest. I might say Sam has more slight talent than Joe Flacco, but Flacco just turned it on in the playoffs. I always thought Flacco and Eli Manning are like the same damn players. Like, they suck during the regular, or they're mediocre during the regular season, and then
playoffs. When they come to playoffs, it's a whole different story.
They just flip a switch and say, they look like top 5 quarterbacks. I don't know. I think he can maintain to be a playoff, for them to be a playoff team. As long as they put the right piece. Sam Darnold's one of those players. Everything's got to be right around him. Like, he's not a talent lifter. Like, you can't give him bare bones and he makes soup out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to have all the ingredients for him to make a good, meal. So, as long as they give him that, your offensive line, great receivers, good running back, a defense that can get some stops, I think he can maintain and at least get to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if he's going to be 2-3 times Super Bowl champion or anything like that, but yeah,
we'll see. Were there any other big storylines that is worth talking about coming out of this? Like, obviously, well, let me ask you, like, how bad was this Super Bowl? Where would you? Obviously, we had that conversation yesterday on how bad this Super Bowl was. Was this one of the worst Super Bowls? Just the game. I'm not talking about the whole totality of it, like the halftime and all that. I'm just talking about just the game. How bad was this compared to some of the worst that we've seen? Do you think this is the worst one we've seen?
It's up there. It's up there. I don't know. Last year's was pretty bad too.
Last year was
That
bad. I know
that
you
was
brought. I know you keep bringing up the Rams one with
that
the
Rams
Patriots,
and that Rams Patriots Super Bowl was terrible.
but it
Bro.
was still. It was. I know it was what 13-3. I think that was
Yeah,
that game,
it
but
was
I think there was
that.
still a momentum of like there still was a little bit of a chance for the Rams
Well,
to kind of win that game.
it's because Sean McVay outcoached himself in that game. I think he had made a bad decision or something. Didn't he go for like on fourth down or some shit like that? He
Yeah.
should have took the points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a bad Super Bowl.
That Broncos Panthers one was bad. That one
It
was
was pretty
terrible
bad.
too.
But there were moments in that game still.
Were they though? Like the biggest moment that everybody remembers from that
Mr.
Super Bowl is Cam Newton not picking up the goddamn ball
on 4th and
Yeah,
27.
that was it.
Yeah, you're right.
The
Nah,
Seahawks one with the Legion of Boom. That one was bad
against
against the
Denver.
Broncos. Yeah, that one was bad.
That was bad because I had put all my money on the Broncos. And from the jump, boy, and then safety, I was like, damn, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is
I think
all
what
bad.
was the last good Super Bowl we had? Was it the one out here in Vegas? The Niners Chiefs one? That was the last good one because y'all won in overtime, right?
Yeah.
That
I don't know. I think ours against the Eagles was way better than that, even though y'all hated the call, but it was still a way better Super Bowl.
The one against the Niners?
No, the one against the Eagles. The first one against the Eagles, not last year.
Oh, the one in New Orleans? The one y'all played in New Orleans or something like that?
Yeah.
I thought both were on the same tier to me. I thought they were both really good games. You know what I mean?
No, don't get it twisted. The Niner one was good. It was really good, especially like you said, because
I think in the reality of that Niners Chiefs one is I think the story of that game was Greenlaw getting hurt because I think before Greenlaw got hurt, I thought that San Francisco defense was containing y'all for the most part. And then the moment he got hurt, I just feel like it just was really deflating. Yeah, that's when Kelsey went off, and I think it was really deflating too. I think it took the Niners a little bit to kind of get their minds wrapped around the whole situation because I think it would have been different. Obviously, it still would have hurt to see him go down regardless. But the fact that it was just him jogging onto the goddamn field and it was something that was just so fluky. I think it was just tough for that Niners team. Not to discredit anything about what happened with y'all the rest of the game, but I think that was a big moment.
It was a huge impact. Because Greenlaw was containing Travis Kelsey, and once that happened, that's when he went off of that like big gain down the field. And then, there was some other things, other pinpoint moments in that game where it was like, damn, if it went this way, the Niners could have got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that play where Brandon Jennings is wide open in the back of the end zone, but Chris Jones is streaking up the field, and Purdy had to get rid of the ball so fast that if that doesn't happen, man, they win the game. So, but yeah, no, that was a pretty good Super Bowl. But yeah, this was pretty bad.
What do you think about the situation with Kenneth Walker? Obviously, he's coming up in free agency, with his big performance. Like, what do you think? What happens to him? Do you think he stays with Seattle? Do you think he gets a big contract somewhere else? What do you think? What do you think that Seattle should do?
I think they re-sign him. You're not paying Sam Darnold a whole bunch of money, so you ain't got to worry about paying your quarterback so much money that you can't.
Do you think Sam Darnold asked for a re-up? Coming off this Super Bowl? No.
I would be surprised if he did. I don't think so. I think that he got his money. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He'll be fine.
I think they're supposed to be selling the team. I think the owner is supposed to be selling the team or something like that.
Something like that. I think he stays, especially with the injury to Charbonnet. If Charbonnet was not hurt, I think there would have been a possibility. They let him walk in free agency. They would, put their eggs in the basket of Charbonnet and maybe draft another guy to go with him. But I think they play.
I agree with you. What about Mike McDaniel? Where does he rank as far as like on the totem pole list with head coaches, man? Where would you kind of put him at?
He's up there. He's definitely showed this year and even the year before that he's a really good coach. And he gets the best out of his teams, man. You could tell that he's building a culture over there and a foundation, and guys love playing for him. So I think he's one of the better coaches. If he continues this trajectory, then we got to talk about, like, if he wins a couple more Super Bowls, then you got to talk about him being one of the best coaches in the league. So
do you think he's going to be like the new coach with the lineage tree? like like the McVays and Shanahan's and stuff like that. Obviously,
I could see that.
Clint Kubiak is he's going to be my new head coach. He kind of confirmed that yesterday after the game.
Mhm.
So it's just pretty much a matter of when, not if, when he's going to be named the next head coach. Do you think Mike McDaniel could be that next lineage coach, like with a tree?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could see him. I could see that happening. But we got to see how successful those coaches are when they leave him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, but outside of that, yeah, I could see possibly. I mean, that's what's going to happen to you when you win the Super Bowl or have a deep run in the playoffs. They're going to start picking coaches off your tree.
Mm-hmm.
So they want some of that success. They want some of those, little finer details of your playbook or whatever you can bring over from that playbook, bring it over here. So, yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. But
Yeah.
we got to see, like I said, we got to see the success rate too of those
Yeah.
coaches when they go off somewhere else. So,
Hopefully it starts off good because it'll be good for me. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we'll see what's up.
But all in all, like you said, it wasn't the greatest Super Bowl. It was a tough watch, especially in that first half. Man. It was bad. Shout out to what's his name, Myers, the kicker.
Oh yeah. He had a
He,
great fantasy day if it was still going on. You know what I mean?
he was the man yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey, man, Patriots they still got money. They got a huge cap space. They got to add some more pieces. Maybe add another wide receiver on this team. Um, maybe like you said, maybe they need to go get a left tackle and put Gil Campbell at left guard and go with that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, I think Will Campbell is talented. I just think that maybe guard maybe be his better position. So
Yeah.
you have to go against those defensive ends with longer arms or faster. You know what I'm saying? But now you just kick him in the inside. Got a guy who could play probably 10, 12 years and maybe be all pro at left guard. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if one of those linemen in the draft maybe they drop to where the Patriots got to pick, or maybe the Patriots move up maybe and go get one of those tackles. The
Mm-hmm.
tackle from Miami or Spano from Alfano from what's the name, Utah, or one of those guys, and put them on the offensive line. So
That'd be a big jump. We gotta see.
yeah, it would be a big jump, but you gotta pay your quarterback. You gotta do what you can.
You gotta do what you can. Yeah, I feel you. You gotta do what you can. Yeah.
You want to get
Maybe there
back.
might maybe there might be a trade out there that becomes available for a left tackle or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. All in all, hey, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to the 12s. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
got y'all second Super Bowl, man. It's been
Mm-hmm.
avenged, man. It's been avenged. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I
Y'all,
saw the
so,
Marshawn Lynch commercial and stuff about that, so that was cool. That was cool.
so I gotta hear y'all crying no more about oh we should have won that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ain't gotta worry about that no more. Y'all got y'all. Shout out to Cooper Cup, man. 2-time Super Bowl champion. You
Mm-hmm.
think Cooper Cup's a Hall of Famer?
That's a good question because it's not like he had a great year this year. He didn't
Yeah.
even really do anything in the Super Bowl. That's a good question. I got to kind of look back at his tape. Off of first thought, I think he's kind of like teetering. I can't like doing the Skip Bayless rule, like where you have to second guess it. You know what I mean? I think you still kind of second guess it a little bit because he's kind of faltered off ever since that MVP year that he's had. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's kind of like on the cusp of it. I think if he can have like another solid couple great years, maybe he can get another 1,000 yards or something like that if he got willing. But I don't know. I think he's kind of like teetering right now.
He is teetering. His numbers have diminished since those years.
Yeah.
And even coming into that year, he wasn't. He had injury history, but
How many 1,000-yard seasons did he have?
he only has 2.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just think that unless he has to found the youth and stuff, and he can have maybe like 2 more years with 1,000 yards or something like that, then I could think we can have a more of a serious conversation. Right now, I just think he's a really good player that benefited from being on some really good teams.
Yeah,
He was an elite receiver for a couple years. So
because since that 1,900-yard year, it was 8 and 7, 812, 737,
he
17.
had all them injuries though. You know what I mean?
And last year it's 593.
I think if he didn't have all those injuries, I think we could have a different conversation. But
Yeah.
stuff happens. But congratulations, the Seattle Seahawks, man. I'm sure. When's their parade?
It'd probably be like Wednesday.
Is it?
So, all right, man. We got any NBA news?
Yeah, man. We got a couple things going on, man. So, first off, man, we got a surprise announcement for the 3-point contest. Damian Lillard, obviously, he was coming off the Achilles injury. He will be participating in the 3-point contest this weekend for All-Star Weekend in LA. It will be at the Intuit Dome, Clippers home stadium. Devin Booker, Con Knipple, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, and Bobby Portis Jr. and Norman Powell will all take place in the contest, man. What are your thoughts with Damian Lillard, man, throwing his hat into?
Is he healthy?
Well, obviously he's training. Like, I don't think he's like game ready, but I think he can, jog a little bit and shoot some 3-pointers. It's not like he's running up and down the court. He's just doing a 3-point contest.
Tear your leg up, man. Shooting damn threes, man. You old now. Them bones ain't what it used to be.
So obviously, we're not gonna have a show on Monday. So I'm gonna ask you this question, man. Who do you got winning the 3-point? I'm not even gonna talk about the dunk contest because that shit looks ass. So I'm not gonna ask you about that. But
who's in the dunk?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Is that bad?
Just don't worry about it.
Is Castle?
No, just don't even worry about it, bro. I'm not even gonna bring it up. I'm so depressed about that dunk contest shit. So who do you have winning the 3-point contest? I think this is the star of the show for Saturday night. You got obviously Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Con Knipple, Charlotte Hornets, Ricky, who's been, obviously I think he broke the record for getting to 100 3-pointers, the quickest, even quicker than Steph Curry. Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby Portis Jr., and Norman Powell, man. So who do you got winning, man?
I got the rookie. I'm going with the rook.
Con Knupp, KK.
I'm going with the rook.
I'm going with you, man. I'm rocking with you. I'm going with KK. I know it kind of sound kind of sus, but yeah, I'm going with Con Knipple, bro. I'm going with Con Knipple. I'll go with the White Hope, man. He killing it, man. I think he's on pace for Rookie of the Year, man. So shout out to him, and shout out to Dame, man. I think it's gonna be exciting to see him back on the court, man, participating, man. Shout out to Dame.
Dame's one of my favorite players. So
nah, absolutely. Obviously, all trade deadline is all finished. We already talked about that, but the Bucks, man, they got some. They got an acquisition. They got a buyout guy, Cam Thomas, man, the big time scorer from the Brooklyn Nets who got cut or released. He's signing with the Bucks, man, and obviously with the whole Giannis Antetokounmpo situation where he kind of keeps going back and forth whether he wants to trade or not. Some people seem this is a little surprising where the Bucks are still trying to compete to win, even though they need to have lose some games to get some high draft capital, especially with, some of the rooks that we've seen playing, not the rooks, but some of the college players we've seen play this year in college basketball. What are your thoughts with this, man, with Cam Thomas signing to the Milwaukee Bucks?
I mean, hey, man, anything helps to get you, a better player. Maybe that helps Giannis out a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to try to make one last run at this, you know what I'm saying? I get everybody's, you want to get high draft picks, but even that's not guaranteed, with how they, pick and draft or whatever. So, yeah, man. I mean, I like the Cam Thomas. See what he provides. You know what I'm saying? Another scorer is always welcomed on that team.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Also, sticking with All-Star Weekend, I want to get your pick, man. With this, who do you got winning All-Star Sunday? You got the World, or do you have the USA team?
Man, I'm going with the World. No, not the World, but the USA team, man.
One of the USA teams.
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
Okay. All right, for sure. And last but not least, with the NBA news, we got some news from Brad Townsend. He's from Dallas Morning News Sports. He reported that the NBA Board of Governors is likely to vote this summer on expanding the league by 2 teams. Las Vegas and Seattle are the 2 favorites to get said expansions. It seems like expansion is finally here. All the rumors that I've been hearing, I heard this maybe like 4 months ago that they would make a decision by summertime on this. It seems like it's pushed into a more likely situation where Vegas and Seattle will get said teams, and then obviously they'll have to reconfigure the league. I'm assuming that the Grizzlies and maybe the Pelicans will move to the East or something like that. I know there's been kind of some of the conversations, maybe even the Minnesota Timberwolves could potentially be one of the ones that move to the East. But what are your thoughts with this, man? Seems like Seattle and Vegas could be the next 2 spots for an NBA team. What's your level of excitement?
Hurry
What
up.
are your
That's
thoughts,
my
man?
excitement. Hurry up.
Do you think you got a good Vegas team name? What do you think our team
Oh,
name gonna be?
I ain't got no Vegas team name.
Nah.
Not yet. I'd have to sit
Mm,
back and think about that. They just don't make it all cliche.
yeah. No, hopefully they get it soon. Hopefully they announce it real soon, man. Hopefully beginning part of the summer. I'm assuming it probably won't happen until probably like summer league time or something like that. I think that's when they usually have their meetings. But yeah, man, super excited to hear, finally get a decision on that. So that's NBA news for today.
For sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mall to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
All right, it's time for our BetUS Surefire Picks. All right, man, what you got?
So for tonight, man, I got the Pistons -2.5. Big game. Who would have thought, man? Pistons and Hornets would be a big game. Hornets been playing very, very well. But I think the Pistons are just too good. But I got them -2.5. I got the Timberwolves -8 over the Hawks. Hawks been struggling. So is the Timberwolves, but I'm gonna pick the Timberwolves to win this. I think they got blown out by the Clippers the other day. And then I'm gonna take my Lakers +7. Cover the Thunder. I think we have a decent shot. No Luka, but no Shea tonight. But Jalen Williams is playing, so. But I'm gonna still take the cover with +7 with the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the -2.5 Pistons over the Hornets. I'm gonna take the 6.5 Heat over the Jazz, and I'm actually gonna take the +8 Hawks against the Timberwolves. All right, man. If you go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the BetUS link. Go ahead and click on that. This is first-time users only. You sign up, you get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance. There's 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits of $100 up to $5,000. So that means that if you bet $100 on your first 3 bets and you lose, you keep your money. So you can keep your money, or you can win you some money. So go over there, sign up, and tell them Cris Lamar sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Surefire Picks. All right, man. I want to talk about the big college matchup that just happened this past weekend. We had Duke versus North Carolina. It was in Chapel Hill in North Carolina. It was a great atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? We all know what Duke and UNC represent. I would argue, a top 2 rivalry in sports. Period.
This is number one. I don't even think it's close. This is the number one best rivalry in all sports, man.
I would agree with you. So, and now look, there hasn't been to the totality that we've been wanting for these past few years because UNC hasn't been up to par. But now that they've got what's the boy name? Cedric Wilson, Caleb Wilson.
Caleb Wilson.
Wilson. they've been on a different trajectory this year. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing really good ball. We all know Duke has Cam Boozer, and I'm sure they got some other players over there. But this was a good game, man. At first, you know what I'm saying? Duke had a little lead going on, but then UNC, came back, and we had a game going into the second half. Um, UNC consistently got a stop immediately after Duke scored. Um, they had the rebounding edge, second chance points and limiting Duke to one shot. Shot selection, UNC took high percentage looks while Duke forced shots late. So it was a good back and forth, but it all came down at the end. Last second 3-point shot that put them ahead, and they beat Duke 71-68. So I ask you, man, is the rivalry back?
The rivalry is always there. It doesn't matter the records or anything like that. The magnitude of both of these teams in college basketball still remains, and it will always be that. It's the best rivalry in all the sports. And you can look statistically from wins to championships to accolades to all-time great players. Like, it's all across the board. And we got it here. Cameron Boozer, man, big power forward, could shoot the three, stretch it out, big body. But the start of the game was Caleb Wilson. I think there needs to be some strong conversations of him being number one overall pick. I know there's been Cameron Boozer talks, there's been AJ DeBonsa talks, there's been obviously Darian Peterson talks about being number one. I think Caleb Wilson can easily be the number one player. I think he has it all. Like, he has the hunger. Like, he's the main reason why UNC was able to keep in that game in the first half. They couldn't do anything. Caleb Wilson literally just said bump it by like 7 minutes into the first half. He just said bump it, like, give me the ball and get out of my way, because no one on that UNC team was helping Caleb Wilson the whole first half. So he showed a lot, and I think a lot of people are starting to recognize that more. I say he gives me KG vibes. He gives you Chris Bosh type of vibes. I think he's on athletic ability. I think he's on the same par as KG, maybe even a little bit better. Quickness and all that type of stuff. I think Caleb Williams should easily be talked about. And this was an all-time great game. The back and forth, the atmosphere that was involved with that. It was amazing, man. And, shout out to Seth Trimble. He hit the big three. Shout out to Dixon. He's the one that assisted for the three. Trimble is really good, man. He's a really good on-ball defending point guard. And obviously he's dealing with I think he broke his wrist or something like earlier in the year. So, obviously he's playing through that. But overall, man, you saw the athletic ability of Duke. That's a scary team. They only got 2 losses by combined points of I think 4, maybe 4 or 3 points. So we all know how ultra talented this team is. And obviously, Duke has their opportunity to get their lick back with the last game of the year in Cameron Indoor Stadium. So obviously that's going to be a great game as well. And just the confidence. This could be a big confidence booster for UNC. Obviously, they were ranked 14th at the time. They only have 4 losses, but with them getting this big time win against Duke, one of the better teams next to Arizona. Arizona, I think, is the only undefeated team minus somebody else, some other college team. Who knows where this can boost it? And this is going to be an amazing March Madness, amazing tournament with conference championship tournaments and the March Madness. Man, this is going to be a very, very exciting tournament. So I can't wait for it. Shout out to my Tar Heels too.
Yeah, for sure. Should be a good tournament. We get to see some of these stars rise. Darren Peterson, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, Cam Boozer, Wilson. We'll see these guys show improve, and we'll see who comes out on top. You know what I'm saying? And solidify themselves as the number 1 overall pick.
Biggest draft in a long time. This is a huge draft for a lot of NBA teams.
How deep do you think this draft is going to be? How many players?
That can be like superstars?
Yeah.
I think it's at least 7, maybe 8 deep. I think so. 7, maybe 8 deep. And then I think about 15 to 20 deep as far as great rotational players. Mm-hmm. This is deep. This is deep. You might even have some players that get drafted in the 20s and 30 in the late 20s, and they can just grow into being superstars. Like a Mint, from Tennessee. He has the body type of kind of like a KD, you know what I mean? But he still has a lot of maturing to do. But if he can, gradually get to where he needs to be, body size, shooting, and all that type of stuff, and defensive behaviors. Yeah, he has the capabilities of being an all around NBA player, all pro NBA player. So all NBA team, all that stuff. Like there's a lot of guys that could fit that mold.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, man. All right. Let's talk about J. Cole's new album, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Fall Off
Mm-hmm.
dropped Friday, Friday or Thursday night. It came out at midnight, Friday morning, I guess you want to say. But it dropped, and everybody was highly anticipated. The new J. Cole, he had dropped the Birthday Blizzard a week prior. So just to give us a little appetizer of him just spitting bars over beats we've already heard. Little mixtape type stuff, DJ Clue, shout out DJ Clue. But this one was more of the album, and it was highly anticipated. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you're highly anticipated, you're gonna get highly criticized. So it was an overall criticism of this. It was on both sides. You know what I'm saying? If you're a J. Cole fan, you loved it. If you're not a J. Cole fan, you had your problems with it. So I thought the album was really well. I like the album. I really, really like it. This 29, I think, was more so hip hop-ish per se. I think more of the hip hop tracks were on the disc 29. I think disc 39 had more of the I won't say club hits, but it had more crossover appeal, I guess you want to say, on this 39, whereas in 29, which is straight hip hop, the beat selection was hip hop, more boom bap on this 29. But 2-6 was fire. Safety, I love that song. Having the perspective of your homeboy, letting you know what's going on in the town. He's not hitting you up to get something from you. He's trying to keep you updated. What's going on? What happened to this person? This happened to that person. And Run a Train was a good song. Bounce Road Blues, I like that song. Who the F is You? That's definitely a banger. That was the song that you heard at the end of the what's the name track that he had put out, the Fall Off is Inevitable. But yeah, I like all those songs. But then on this 39, I like The Villas, I like Old Dog, I like Life Sentence, I like Only You, Man Above. I love Her Again, which was a play on of the comment I used to love her. The What If song, where he's writing from the perspective of Biggie and Tupac. Had they had hashed out their differences, maybe they wouldn't have met their demise. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I thought it was a good project. I have no quarrels with the project. I get it when you put out double CDs or double disc albums. It's going to be tough because people are going to feel like, oh, you could have cut that, you could have trimmed that, you could have condensed that. But all in all, I thought it was a good project. I still have to sit with it. I don't know where I would rank it amongst his projects, but I think it was a good project.
Like, look, I think J. Cole was going to be in a hard place no matter how great this album was, because it's just the whole build up for this. Obviously, the whole situation of the apology, between the whole Kendrick and Drake situation, and everybody has their own particular type of feelings about that. So you already have a particular fan base that probably wasn't going to be very supportive of this album anyway. Even though, like, some of Drake's biggest supporters, like GZ Academics, he gave it some really good praise. I was honestly a little bit surprised by it. So honestly, man, this is a Cole project, man. This sounds like a Cole project. You know what I mean? I think we got a long Cole project, very concise, very J. Cole authentic beats. You know what I mean? Like I thought overall it was just some great stuff. So like 2-6, I love 2-6. Safety's like probably my favorite track out of all of them. I think he murdered that. I love Run a Train with Future. Legacy's cool. Bunch Road Blues I really loved. I love the Tim's part on that. Who the fuck is you? You already talked about that. I love drum and bass. Yeah. The let out was that song where I feel you. I think that's the song you're kind of talking about, where you just couldn't get into it. You kind of see he was kind of like experimenting on that. I don't think it's a bad song. It's just not for me. Bombs in the Ville, Hit Gas. I like that one a lot. Yeah. Then obviously when you go to Dis 39, you got the Fall Off is Inevitable. Obviously that's the track that we all heard before.
Yeah, yeah.
The Villas, The Old Dog with Petey Pablo, Life Sentence, Man Up Above, I Love Her Again, What If, Ocean Way. Like I like it all, man. And obviously I love the concept of him, driving in his old car, selling CDs from out the back of the trunk, doing pop-ups and stuff like that. Hopefully, J. Cole bless us out here on the West Coast. I think he said he was going to travel all across the country and sell CDs out the back of a trunk. And if he obviously hits Vegas, I definitely would love to, support that and buy a CD, man, because I just think that culture is pretty dope, man. And look, man, at the end of the day, this is always going to get some potent reviews, whether it's positive. A lot of people are going to nitpick. I even saw something about the game doing a review in 3 aspects of a hater, a fan, and a peer. You know what I mean? Which I thought, some people think game is doing too much, but I think it's actually a pretty.
I
cool
actually didn't
concept.
have no problem with his review. I thought it was it was a real review. It wasn't somebody just trying to find something to hate on.
And I think
he gave a real breakdown of what he felt, and I had no problem with the game.
I thought it was I think it's an amazing concept, especially coming from the likes of artists. Like I think a lot of artists, I think it'd be cool to see more artists do something like that in the perspective of that. I know a lot of people like to say Game does some corny stuff or he just does too much, but I don't think game is game. And then I think I think something for him to do that, take the time to do that, kind of explain his thought process and how he goes about each review. I thought it's amazing, really in-depth stuff that I think people need to take a look at. So overall, man, if I had to rate it, I'll probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10 for me personally. I thought this was a really great album. I've been listening to it the whole weekend. I know some people have been killing like Joe Budden and their kind of takes on on the whole J. Cole, and some people think it might have been just lazy stuff, but you got to understand with them, like I think they're on a time crunch with that, and it's like you're asking people to come in, they have a big time platform, and them to have less than 24 hours to give an honest review on something this long and in depth. I think perceptions could change. I even think I saw Ice saying something like he's listening to it more, and he's a lot of the songs have grown on him, but he still has his opinions on certain things that could have been done better, or just the overall hype to it. And I think that's what's going to be. I think this is going to be an album for, if you're a J. Cole fan, I think you're going to give it a 10 out of 10. I think if it's people who they like J. Cole a lot, but they're not like some diehards, they're going to be a little bit more critiquing about it, and I could see them being in a range of like an 8, anywhere from an 8 to the 8.5 or something like that. And I could see this album where you listen to it more, and then just life happens where this could grow to be a 9 and a 10. You know what I mean? I think this has I think this album could have longevity. Let me just say that I think this album has a lot of longevity to it. That I think it's just going to take time. I think this could eventually play out to be a classic. I think with some more visuals coming out, obviously he's going to do a big tour for this. It can all change the perception of this album. So I love it. I think if somebody gives it an 8.5 like me, 8.59, I think that's an honest review. And then honestly, that could potentially go up. Albums tend to do that. Like I could look at a lot of albums. Like I could look at Kanye West's like a Yeezus or something like that. When people first heard that album, a lot of people weren't fascinated. Or 808s and Heartbreaks. You know what? 808s and Heartbreaks is a great example, because a lot of people, when they first heard Kanye West do 808s and Heartbreaks, they didn't know how to respond to that album. They did not. Now 808s and Heartbreaks is considered one of his best albums of all time. They consider that a classic. So again, that took time for the growth. You start seeing some of the artwork and some of the visionary plans he has for it, the growth. Let it mature, let it nurture. And I think this album deserves that. And I think it could grow into being one of his best albums of all there. Like, is it going to be better than Forest Hill Drive and all that type of stuff? I don't know, but give it time. Let it mature, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I think, anybody who puts projects out like J. Cole, where they have a little bit more thought-provoking music, and J. Cole's always been that. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the big three, he's been always known for the storytelling, the more direct storytelling. It's not complex. It's not like Kendrick is a little bit more complex with his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in Cole is straight direct. This is what it is. This is my story, but it's always still effective. It's still great. you know, and he's more. I think he has a little bit more just boom bap. You know, he's got a lot of Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul type feel to him, common. You know what I'm saying, with a little bit of, you know, southern, you know what I'm saying, influence in them too, because you hear it all through this album. That's what I liked about this album, is a lot of homage to a lot of the rappers that we grew up on, the Outkast, the Commons, you know what I'm saying, DMX, you know, Nas. You know, we all know how J. Cole feels about Nas. So a lot of that, you know what I'm saying, and I think this was just a homage to hip hop, period. You know what I'm saying? It was just
It's also
showing
a
that.
homage to North Carolina. It's a
Yeah,
homage to
that
Fayetteville. It's
too.
like a lot of
Yeah.
these songs. It's a lot of roots to North Carolina. So if you don't understand North Carolina, if you don't understand Fayetteville, I was watching the video on what 2-6 meant to Fayetteville, and when you start coming across these videos that explains what Fayetteville, North Carolina is, I feel like you understand the album more. You know what I mean? So are you going to take that time to understand what Fayetteville is for J. Cole and a lot of those people who live in that area? Are you going to understand what this album means for those group of people? Like, you see the level of excitement. I just think that when we come from all parts of the world, whether you're from New York City, Seattle, LA, West Coast, down south, it's just you're not going to have the same feeling. Now, when you start taking the education, you start understanding it, then I feel like albums like this, you'll have a better appreciation for, because it's more, feel like this is a regional album. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a North Carolina regional album. And I think sonically it sounds amazing. This is some of the best raps you're going to hear probably all year, unless, you know, we see what Drake does. We got to see, obviously, Clips are working on some new stuff. Like, there's a lot of Freddie Gibbs, you know, we got albums coming out. Like, this year is going to be packed. This year is going to be packed with some great albums. A$AP Rocky's album, I'm loving it. The more and more I listen to that A$AP Rocky album, I think that A$AP Rocky album is really good. Very experimental in some aspects of it, but I've been enjoying it. And then, you know, we got more stuff coming. So shout out to J. Cole, man. Shout out to J. Cole, man. I think this is going to be in the line for Grammys for album. I could see maybe potentially album of the year. I could honestly see potential, obviously, definitely rap album of the year and stuff like that. We'll see what kind of awards it gets. Like, I'm excited to see this album mature and see where it grows and see where it can ultimately end up being by the end of the year. Like, I want to see the whole process. I want to see, obviously, he's dropping videos. Obviously, we're going to get tour. We're going to get other visual representations of this album. And obviously, this is being portrayed as this is going out. You know what I mean? Like, this is his last stop. Now, could it be? Can it be? I don't know. I think there's always a potential of J. Cole doing more stuff. And, you know what I mean? I think music will always be within him. But if this is it, man, like, you know, enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the process, because he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. It's a fact.
I agree. High level raps.
Yeah. Shout out to J. Cole, man.
Yeah, for sure. According to Michael Coppering, Boots and Virgil Ortiz could be signed by the end of this week.
Boots, Virgil, get this done, B. This needs to be in Vegas. This needs to be
targeted for April in Las Vegas.
Let's do it. I'm gonna try my damnedest to get tickets to that motherfucking fight. I'm gonna ask everybody I know. I need tickets. I'm gonna tell everybody I need these bad. Virgil, Boots, let's go. This is one of my biggest fights of this year, baby. Don't ruin this, man. You get me excited, bro. Please don't ruin this. Make this happen, man. I want to see this fight so bad. This is definitely like top 3 for me. I need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this on the level of like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford feel to you with this fight?
A little bit too rich for me. But a little bit
too rich for you?
But it's up there.
I think it's up there, dog. I think it's up there. This will be an exciting ass fight. This will be an exciting level ass fight, man.
I can't wait to see it. Don't get it twisted. I think it's a high level fight for, you know, boxing. You know, it's one of the top.
It's gonna be so much action in that shit too. So much action.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
make it happen, y'all. I appreciate both of y'all. Yo, make this my birthday gift. Do that. Do it for your boy, man. Come on, man. I need that birthday gift, bro. Birthday coming soon, y'all. It's loading up.
What were your overall assessments of the Bad Bunny halftime show? I didn't get to watch it because I was working. So
Amazing, amazing. Like I don't look all this. Look, this is my early hell nah. And respectfully, anybody that does this fake outrage BS about Bad Bunny, like, look, I saw little clips of that little TP America bullshit. That shit was trash, like, bro. That shit was pre-recorded, and you had Kid Rock doing some terrible rapping. Like that shit was terrible. Like Bad Bunny is the representation of what you need to show on the show. I don't care if you don't understand him. I didn't understand a word that he said. I've been to a Bad Bunny concert. I didn't understand a word, but I understood the vibe. I understood the moment he was trying to do. And you saw the representation of Puerto Rico. You felt it with the sugarcane fields and all that type of stuff like that. The visionary of that was beautiful. You see Lady Gaga, you see Cardi B dancing, the vibes. Like, how can you sit here and say you were bored of that shit? You have beautiful Spanish women all across your scene, all across your screen, and a vibe. You that push you to sleep? Yeah, Boogie, I'm talking to you because I did hit you up. Yeah, you fall asleep to that. I don't know, brother. I think your priorities are a little bit wrong, brother. If you don't like beautiful women shaking their ass in your screen, you don't like Spanish women like that. I feel bad for you, my brother. If you don't like a vibe, you must got a boring life, my brother. Sorry. That's just crazy to me. And anybody who has any kind of like this fake, like, oh, this shit was ass, bro, you're not a good time. I'm sorry, you seem boring to me. That's dead ass statement, for real. Because I don't know anybody that don't like big booty Latina women shaking their ass on your fucking TV. That shit bores you? Okay, all right, more for us, buddy. Yeah, that shit's a vibe. And then at the end of the day, it was a great halftime show. It was fun. It had all the and it was respect. It brought. You know what? I heard rumors that they're going to do like a drag show and all that. Even if they did it, so what? He didn't do none of that. He did the married couple thing that I heard was legit between a man and a woman. That's what y'all magas like. So he gave y'all that. He brought out the American flag, was still very respectful. He had a dope ass visionary board at the end that was all about positivity and love. I don't get how you don't like anything like that. I don't understand it, and I don't get it. If you don't like a good time, just say you don't like a good time. But it was an amazing performance. Shout out to Bad Bunny. I think it had over 135 million views already. I think it's one of the most watched halftime shows of all time. Even coming off the Kendrick stuff, like Kendrick put on an amazing performance. Like, shout out to Bad Bunny, man. Hopefully, I think Chris Brown deserves a halftime show. I know a lot of people will still hold the Rihanna stuff towards him and some of the other stuff. I think he deserves a halftime show. I would say Kanye West deserves a halftime, but we all know he's never going to get one unless he gets his stuff really together. But I don't know, man. I'm curious to see where they go next year, especially. And shout out to NFL, man, for not backing down to some of the political figures and some of the noise that's been out there. They stand 10 toes down. They had Green Day out there, and they represented, and they didn't back down. They know what kind of entity that they are, and they weren't scared by Trump or Republicans or MAGA and all that type of stuff, man. They know what they're doing, and they got the ratings that they want. All they care about is the ratings, and they got what they want. And Bad Bunny did that, and shout out to Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I still don't understand the outrage over the Bad Bunny stuff. I saw
it's fake. It's fake. It's fake outrage. It's fake bullshit.
I saw Mace and him talking about the halftime shows have been dwindling for the past few years. I'm like, oh, so now the halftime shows have been bad. So
yeah, well, like, what do you want?
Usher's was bad.
Usher's was bad. Dr. Dre was bad. Kendrick was bad.
Kendrick was bad.
Like Rihanna was bad. Beyonce was bad. Prince was bad. Like, we talking about, like, Prince was one of the greatest of all time. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, all these halftime shows have been great, and they had their own identity to it. You know what I mean? It's been some creative stuff. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're looking for. All those were great times. Now, can we rank them as far as like which one was better than others? Yeah. Obviously, yeah, Michael Jackson or Prince, Beyonce's, there's been a slew of great performances. But don't give me this fake BS because he speaks Spanish. Like, what? You don't need to understand to learn a vibe. I don't need to understand the words that come out your mouth. I know a vibe when I see it. I know a good time when I see it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. And people trying to sit here and say I'm bored, I'm falling asleep. Like, come on, man. That halftime show was at the end of the day, again, I'm gonna repeat myself again. He could have went a lot of ways about this. He didn't say nothing about ICE, which I'm surprised he didn't. And if he did, I would have did a standing clap ovation. But he didn't do that. I think he kept it very, very, as some people would like to call it, professional. He didn't get overly disrespectful. At the end of the day, Puerto Rico is America. Puerto Rico is America. Puerto Ricans are American. Spanish people are American. I'm American. You're American. We're all Americans. Why can't we just live our lives and be who we want to be? That's America, dog. That's being American, being you, and respecting everybody around you, no matter what culture, no matter what sex, no matter what gender. That's what being American is. And people need to wake up. Sorry. That fake outrage shit is corny as hell. And I'll call anybody else out too. And I hope everybody who says some dumb shit, they see this. If you want to talk, you know my Twitter handle. Say what up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's corny. It's corny. It's stupid. All right, man. You got anything else?
No, no topics, no nothing like that.
All right. Who gets your flowers of the week?
Witty Bob. Mark, thank you. Yeah. Flowers though, Bad Bunny. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Shout out to everybody, Tar Heel Nation. Stand up, with the big win. Shout out to y'all. Who else? All my black people, I love y'all. Still Black History Month. Y'all getting flowers every Monday we got left in this short ass month. Who else? Valentine's coming up, so shout out to all the beautiful couples out there, all the loved ones out there, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to love. Shout out to all that. Flowers for all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like you said, shout out to all my black people out there. It's Black History Month, baby. So every day, man, just wake up and be thankful that you're black. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, happy birthday to your son. It's gone 12.
Shout out to my little cousin Legend. Shout out to him, man. Happy birthday. They growing up fast, man. Shout out to my son. He moved into his apartment, so I got to give him a shout out. He got his own apartment, you know what I'm saying? In that adult life, they get older and they got their own apartments now. So shout out to him. Yeah, man. I ain't got nothing else. All right, man. Who gets your hell
now? Fake Bad Bunny outrage. That shit was old and corny to me. Trump for the post that he did about the Obamas. That shit, like come on, man. I don't know what more proof y'all need about this dude. How corny he is. Yeah. Just man, that's it. I said enough.
Yeah. A lot of y'all need to get hell no all the week. Bootsy, I don't know what you was trying to prove when you was sitting there watching Bad Bunny's performance, and then give me Chris Brown. It's like, all right, man, we get it. You want Chris Brown, but you ain't got it.
We all want Chris Brown, but let's not shit on homie's moment. Like, we don't.
Like, relax. It ain't that serious. Yeah, that's only hell no I got. All y'all with this fake outrage of Bad Bunny. If y'all really wanted a real halftime show, why didn't you get MAGA Lil Wayne and MAGA Nicki Minaj?
It would have been way better than Kid Rock. But even then, Lil Wayne can't even do. Lil Wayne, I like Lil Wayne, even with his MAGA self. But that performance would have been terrible. Nicki Minaj, no one wants to see that deflated ass on that stage, bro. Like, no one's trying to see that, bro. I'm trying to see it. And I ain't gonna lie, Nicki Minaj got hits. She got hits. Like, I'm not the biggest Nicki Minaj fan, but she's one of the best female rappers of all time. We all know what's up, but you had your op, but you. I don't know why MAGA's still holding on to Kid Rock. Like, That bobbity bob, bang bang, boogity boogity, all that book. That shit's so old and played. Y'all can't find no one else. Y'all couldn't get Luke Combs. Y'all couldn't get Morgan Wallen. Like they MAGA too.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. Like where all your top hitters at? You know what I mean? Like where your top hitters at, dog?
They cost too much.
What you mean?
Kid Rock was like
Trump's on for $10 billion. He can pay it up.
$2,500 and a pack of beer, and a 12-pack of beer for Kid Rock.
What you mean? DT got it. He got that. He got the bag.
He ain't got nothing.
What you mean?
He ain't
He
got
made
it
all
for
this
them.
bread. Come on, dog.
He got to pay for that.
I'm just saying,
UFC
upgrade from Kid Rock. Kid Rock that's like us still going to like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, brother, let them retire. like, you know what I mean? Like,
What's wrong with
the brothers can't hit them notes like that. There ain't nothing wrong with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm just saying, like, then it's not gonna hit the same, bro. We ain't in the 70s and 80s.
The boys still get down, man.
I hear you, but does it have the same of if it was like
when they be
Kendrick?
They be grooving, boy.
I'm not dissing Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're one of the greatest of all time. But it gets to a point where it's like, all right, like let's put some new blood in this. Let's put some new energy into this. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect. No disrespect. Come on, man. Shout out to Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, man. If you want to donate to the Cris Mall podcast, you can donate to Cris Mall Podcast, $ Cris Mall Podcast. We'll appreciate whatever you donate. Whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, any of those, go ahead and subscribe. First time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesday 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the live like Mark does. Give us your opinion. You agree with us? You disagree with us? Did you hate the Bad Bunny performance? Did you feel like the Super Bowl was one of the worst you've ever watched? Do you think Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback? Oh, yeah. Do you agree with anything that we said today? Let us know. And you can let us know if you're listening on the playback. Tell us in the comment section too. So, whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Kick, whatever you use, you can follow us at Cris Mall. We'll follow you back. We're just some regular guys like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. If you have a question or topic, or you have critiques or feedback or a question or topic, we like to say a question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, emails, or our mentions. All right, good people.
Before you leave, did you want to talk about James Pierce?
We could give our quick thoughts. He gets held all the week, actually. So if you don't know, James Pierce Jr., he's the rookie defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons. He was dating Rakia Jackson. I guess they had recently broke up. She's in Florida right now playing. I think she's on one of the unrivaled teams in Florida. Or it might be Athlete. What's it called? Athlete Unlimited. I think she's on one of those teams. Anyway, James Pierce Jr. showed up to her where she was living at or staying at. Ran into her car. I guess, did he have a gun on him?
I don't know if he had a gun, but I know he was running and he ran his car into her car or something, and then I think he hit a police officer with his car or something some wild stuff. And then I saw the video of him getting arrested too. So
so it's not looking good for Mr. James Pierce Jr. It looks like he probably going to get kicked off the team, maybe even have some jail time headed his way. So it's going to be interesting to see what happened to him. Prayers out to Rakia Jackson. Good thing she didn't have any injuries or suffer any bodily harm.
Police officer too, the one that got hit too.
Yeah,
Man, we don't want to condone all that either. You know what I'm saying? No matter how we feel about certain people.
Yeah, of course. But it's an unfortunate situation. It could have escalated to something worse. We've seen these instances before where somebody shows up and something bad happens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that it didn't escalate to a point where people had to lose their lives. So
yeah, he's lucky he still has his life because,
yeah,
what I mean? Just some of the acting, like, come on, man. Like, we got to be better than that. You know what I mean? Some of these athletes, man, I don't know. Like, they need some of these cats. I don't know if they do like mental evaluations on certain people, because I know there was kind of like some communication or some thoughts about James Pierce as a draftee with some of his actions. Yeah, Drewski, yeah, you got to get held now too, brother. Before you ain't never get invited to NFL honors ever again, bro.
The whole African community mad at you right now, but
yeah, pretty much.
And that is not a place you want to be, sir.
Nah, bro. Nah, that's really not, bro. I just think there's a time and place to make jokes like that, and I just don't think NFL honors was the move for that. Especially, especially with like how sensitive last names are, and like you just don't want to play with people's names like that. You know what I mean? I know, like that's why you see the whole situation with Russell Westbrook, and when people say Westbrook, I get it. I get the anger because that's like if somebody kept butchering style, Cris, like your last name, like they keep butchering your shit to make it sound like it's a joke. Like, yeah, you're gonna take offense to that. So yeah, Drewski definitely get held now. I love Drewski, man. Funny dude, but come on, it's time and place for that, man.
But yeah, James Pierce Jr., man, you get some help, bro. Whatever you need, you need to get some mental help because you're about to lose everything that you worked hard for, sir. You had a really good season. You know what I'm saying? 2.5 sacks. You're actually looking like you was going to be a major contributor to that defense. So it's not looking good. I don't know what they do with him. I don't know if he does get cut because we've seen players do bad stuff and still stay on the team. So we'll see. We'll see. But hopefully that man gets help. And hopefully Rakia gets the proper restraining orders and security that she needs to keep herself safe and keep her sanity safe, sane.
Nah, for real. It's crazy.
That could really mess her up, mentally, especially what she deals with on a day-to-day basis. She is a professional basketball player, so she already has enough dealing with that. Now she got to deal with this BS. This is like, it's a scary thing, man. So
yeah, don't ruin your lives over stuff like this. It's just not worth it, man. Just walk away, man. just walk away, man. Like you, as grown ass men, man. There's no reason why you should be doing that to a woman. No reason, man. Like we got to be better than this as men. You know what I mean? It's just we can't let the anger get to us. You know what I mean? And I don't know the whole variety of the story. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not saying Rakia Jackson did anything to provoke that, and even if she did, that still isn't the response you need to do to handle a situation like that. You were still wrong no matter what she did. I don't care if she cheated on you, do whatever. Like, just don't do that. Like, we gotta wake up, grow up, and especially with opportunities that you have, like him. Like he was on the train to be a superstar, young defensive talent. Now you're looking like you could be the next Henry Ruggs. This is literally like, obviously no one died in this situation, thank God, but it's kind of like you're kind of heading down that same path where you're ultimately talented, but you do idiotic decisions that's going to really ruin your career. So is that worth it? No, I don't think so. So praise up to everybody involved, man. Hopefully things get worked out, and hopefully Rakia has the proper sanctuary she needs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good people. We ain't gonna have a show on Wednesday.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Spend time with your significant other.
Or go to the strip club and find a significant other.
Yeah, if you don't have a significant other, man, then do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a present. You know what I'm saying? Tell yourself you love. Take yourself out on a date.
You know absolutely. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Go to Sizzler, celebrate. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Get your steak. You know what I'm saying? Or, chill, man. Celebrate yourself, men and women. Celebrate yourself.
Buy you some new shoes. Get your hair did. You know what I mean? Go out with your girls. Have a Valentine's Day. Do something. You know what I mean? Go out with your homies. I ain't got no days.
Fellas, don't do no broing time days. I don't want to see that.
Nah, don't do that. But go out and watch a game or something. Like you ain't saying nothing wrong with that.
Son.
Go chill. You know what I mean? Why everybody so? Come on, man. Can't kick with the homies and shit.
You kick with the homies, but
I ain't saying no do no bro, like, you know, take each other out to dinner type shit. No one's saying that. Like, bro, but like, if there's a game on, you ain't got shit going on. Like, go watch All-Star Weekend or some shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Be like that Trey Rag. You see that Trey Rag skit?
Nah, which one was that?
When his homeboy hits him up and he was like, "Yeah, man, I was thinking maybe we go out to eat." He was like, "Oh man, you talking about getting all the homies together?" He said, "No, just you and me, dog. We just go out to eat." He said, "Where you try to go get like a sandwich?" He said, "No, we like go out to that little steak joint." And he was like breaking all kinds of bro code. He ended up killing him.
Oh, for real?
He ended up taking him out, and then he's at the funeral, and then they scan over, and he's like around the other homies. He's like, "Look, man, I had to do what I had to do." You know what I'm saying? He broke certain rules and codes that he wasn't supposed to break. And then his other homeboy like, yeah, like a piece of lint on his beard. He just took it off. He was like, "Oh, yeah, some lint on your beard." He's like, "Go ahead, keep going." He's looking at him. They said no his scans, and he didn't took him out. And he's just going down the list of taking all his homeboys out because they didn't broke bro code.
That's crazy.
Trey Rex is crazy.
He's crazy.
All right, good people. Until I guess next week sometime.
Next Monday, yeah. Next Monday.
President's Day next week.
Man, it's President's Day. Yeah, it is President's Day.
Double pay.
I gotta get. You know, that's another thing. I got my TV going out. My TV's going out. I gotta get me a new TV. Not this one, but one in my bedroom.
Oh,
gotta get me a new TV. Yeah, that shit ever happened to you? Where half the screen went black? Goes black. What happened to you before?
Went all black.
Oh, your whole TV went black.
I had to get a whole new one.
What kind of TV you got? What kind of TV you got?
What's it? The Fire TV.
No, Fire TV. You like them? You like this cool?
Yeah, it's cool. Straight. Upgrade soon though. Probably get bigger screens eventually.
For sure.
So I get like a 80-inch.
I did see a nice ass 80-inch OLED at Best Buy when I was there to pick up some like a couple weeks ago. That shit was nice. That shit was tough.
TVs
was
are cheap.
Nah, honestly, yeah. Like even those Best Buy brand ones, what is it, Insignia? They're actually decent TVs. I actually bought one. Like that's the TV
that's what I got. That's the one that went out on mine too.
I bought the Insignia. This is like one of the first TVs I ever bought. And this one I've had for well over like 10 years. Well over 10 years. And it finally went out. So I'm like, and it was good quality. Like I didn't have no problem with it. But yeah, man. I was looking at that. I think they had like an OLED TV that was like a 70-inch for like only like $500 or $600. It wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty cool.
Yep. So
all right, man. Well, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all
all right,
y'all.
Peace.
Don't make no babies.
What if they want to make babies?
Hey, that's an extra